I have to tell you that I've spoken to many, many crowds over audiences over time. And when someone's sitting here and there's a big gap. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. All right, fine.
That's okay.
So, that's okay. So, and when there's a big gap, there's no connection with the audience. So it's really great. I appreciate you filling up the tables, particularly up front. This is not like church. You don't have to sit in the back. And we know who you are back there, so we'll be watching. Okay. Today, particularly a few things I would like to go over to keep everyone well informed. We have plenty of money. So we're not going to have a treasurer's report every meeting, but we'll tell you that there's plenty of money. And one of the responsibilities that you all have, and you're going to be hearing this constantly over the next 15 minutes, is what do we do with it, and what is your opinion about what we should do with it? So there are a couple of things that are going on where we're looking to spend this money, because basically if we don't spend this money belongs to the community. But we have access to it only to make beneficial use of this money. So we have a few things that are going on, and I'll cover that in a minute. We have the Grafton Food Pantry, we have new members, we have renewals, we have 119 people who did not renew. Now, why is that? We don't know. Matter of fact, there's a lot of things that we don't know that would be helpful for the long-term benefit of the club. So if there's anyone out there who has done a little bit of market research or a survey or is comfortable with SurveyMonkey and analyzing responses, please see me after the meeting, because we would like to learn more about the characteristics of our membership. How many people are Apple users? How many people are PC users? How many people are Android phones versus iPhones? What kind of tablets? That kind of information enables your board to make better decisions about what would serve the membership in the most efficient manner. Okay, so we need feedback. So if there's anybody who'd like to help us with a survey too, that would be helpful, and please see me afterwards. For example, one of the things that we're currently discussing is the computers that are in the lab are old, kind of like us, okay? And they're not as spry as they used to be. So right now we have a committee, subcommittee of our board, and the board consists of the officers and those who are in charge of functional areas such as software and hardware and things of that nature. We're trying to consider what we should do in the lab to bring it up to speed, with the intention of being able to accommodate new things that we don't know but are coming along, but we can't identify them yet. In other words, we want to be well equipped to accommodate whatever advances are coming down the next few years by having the systems in the computer lab up to date. Now, this is not an easy thing. I want to thank Shelley, who's got a subcommittee going, and they've met already, and they're meeting again, and they'll be reporting to the board later this month, and we'll see what actions need to be taken. But that is one potential area to expand. But by the way, even if we did that, you still have $20,000 left. So we're looking for ideas about how to make use of that would serve the community as best as possible. So here's some news you could use. This is the last time, or at least, I would say last time, because you never know, and you might revert back. But next month, we're going to start the meeting at 9 o'clock. And coffee will be available at 8:30. Now that means that the people who make the coffee need to come in a bit earlier. Now why would we be considering this change? I've been told, and I haven't been attending too many of these meetings, that this is one of the better crowds we've had. We're not sure exactly why. Maybe it's the topic, maybe because you heard about the wonderful guy who's now president of the club, want to see what he looks like. I mean, it could be a lot of strange answers. We don't know exactly. But what we do know is that attendance has declined over the last year or two. Now, was it because we moved the meeting from 9 o'clock to 9:30? That's one possibility. So the idea is, let's try next month to have this meeting starting at 9, coffee available at 8:30. Those of you who show up at 8 o'clock, give us a break, all right? So, and why are we trying to do that? First of all, we want to see if that was related to the decline in people attending. One person commented that when you have a meeting at 9:30 that ends around 10:30 or quarter to 11, the morning is shot. So we figured that maybe a lot of people are saying if the meeting is at 9 and it ends around 10 or 10:10, then I have time to go to Costco and get lunch there. So that's our theory, and we're going to test it, okay? But it makes a little bit of sense because, you know, sometimes the 9:30 meeting, people look at it and say, well, that kills the morning. Maybe 9 o'clock might be better and it might be more efficient. And by the way, I know none of you are sleeping in to 9 o'clock. You know, you're up with me at 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and you're glad to finally say, okay, now I can at least go over there. But don't show up at 8 o'clock next month for coffee, because I want to thank the Dave Ruby and the team of people who have contributed to this setup. They came in a little extra early this morning to make sure it was ready, that they could do that. And they'll be doing that next month, and they deserve our thanks and appreciation. So thank you guys. And you may have heard a little bit of reports that next month, in October, Microsoft will no longer be supporting Windows 10. This is not an area of my expertise. A few people in the club, primarily, again, I'll refer to Shelley, are keeping track of this because it seems like the information is changing every other week. They have a new position or something of that nature. So what we plan to do is to inform the membership probably in a couple of weeks about what the status of that change is. Here's the bottom line right now. You don't have to do anything. If things are okay the way they are, you can stay the way they are. What you will not get is, over time, is support for Windows 10 or service packs and security changes and things of that nature. So it's not a crisis. On the other hand, going to Windows 11, which you should do if you're capable of it. When I say capable of it, it means that some people may have machines that are so old that they are not equipped to handle Windows 11 well. So we're working through that. We will inform the membership first. Now, I have to say, in a kind of a negative tone, I said to the people at CAM, I said, shouldn't you advise the entire community of this potential change, that people will be concerned, and we certainly don't want to have 150 people lined up outside the lab one Monday morning looking for help. And if we could express this better through a general distribution to the community, that would be great. And they told me no, they wouldn't do that. That's my problem, okay? Because I was trying to present this as a service to all the residents of Del Webb, not just Computer Club members, but they should be aware of the ramifications of this change. And first of all, don't panic. Those of you who like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe know what I'm talking about. The answer is 42, exactly. So anyway, so you have this issue coming up. I did get some potential cooperation that maybe the folks who do the Sunday newspaper may be willing to do an article about it. And we're working from that pathway to get around CAM so that we can get